Hiya folks, I'm Grim and welcome to Grim Grooves. Today we'll be checking out Alan Jackson's Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning for the 24th anniversary of 9/11. Even though I'm Canadian, I still remember how impactful and how crazy it was the moment that this happened, and at the end of the video I'll talk about that and my own experience with it. And after this video we'll also look at a interview with Alan Jackson talking about how impactful this was when he sang this song and how much meaning it has for him. So that's going to be really interesting too. But if you'd like to see more from my channel, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because I've got so much more to check out. I've only just started checking out country, but I'm open to looking into it. If you know me, if you've checked out my music before, you probably know I'm not a huge country fan, but I'm not against it. I just haven't heard a lot that I've liked. So maybe I'll like this one. I guess we'll see. And also, if you'd like to request something, you can request down below in the comments, or if you'd like it right away, you can get it on Patreon through tier 2 or 3. This is actually a Patreon request, and I'm very grateful for all the support I get because it helps me to continue making stuff like this. So without further ado, let's check out Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning?
Tonight, Alan Jackson is a nominee for 4 of tonight's awards, and the songs that he writes always tell it like it is. Simple truths that come from his heart. When he went to bed late last week, he couldn't sleep because of an idea that he had for this song. It kept running through his head. So early in the morning, he got up and he wrote this song, and we're honored that he chose to do it for the first time in front of anybody. Please welcome Mr. Alan Jackson.
First time, wow.
Where were you when the world stopped turning that September day? Out in the yard, your wife and children working on some stage in L.A. Did you stand there in shock at the sight of that black smoke rising against that blue sky? Did you shout out in anger and fear for your neighbor? Did you just sit down and cry? Did you weep for the children who lost their dear loved ones? Pray for the ones who don't know? Did you rejoice for the people who walked from the rubble and sob for the ones left below? Did you burst out in pride for the red, white, and blue, and the heroes who died just doing what they do? Did you look up to heaven for some kind of answer and look at yourself and what really matters? I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning?
Wow, he does have a beautiful voice. And the backing tracks and everything like that, like, there is so much emotion in this room, and you can feel it, you can see it in their faces as they're singing the song, as they're performing it. Like, I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience to go through, living through what happened on that day. And especially if you are in, like, the media and things like that, or in things, like, it's hard not to just see it everywhere. Like, everyone's talking about it. It's unescapable. And also just like the impact of what happened that day, it changed the world. I mean, that's what the song's all about. But the song itself is very beautiful. Again, like the violin melody in the background, or fiddled, or whatever you call it in this situation, like, it was fantastic, and the backing singers are doing a great job. Alan Jackson's voice, like I said before, is really beautiful. I mean, it has some of the country twang that you would expect from a song like this, but it's still really well done. I mean, even for someone like me who doesn't really listen to country all that much, like, it's not necessarily the most catchy in terms of like a great hook or things like that necessarily, but the meaning is so strong that it carries through everything else in the song. It's really interesting and really impressive, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go from here. Like, because it almost seems like at some moments he's about to break down because of just how emotional this is. And some of them in the back, you can kind of almost see like tears in their eyes and things like that. Like, it would be a very hard show to do, especially performing for the first time. Like, obviously Alan Jackson had performed before, but this song is brand new. He only wrote it a week ago, according to the announcer there. So it's really interesting that this is his first performance of it. And yeah, it would be incredibly emotional to do this. It'd be hard to hold it together with a song like this, especially after what happened. But wow, he's doing a great job with it.
That September day, teaching a class full of innocent children, driving down some cold interstate. Did you feel guilty cause you're a survivor? In a crowded room, did you feel alone? Did you call up your mother and tell her you loved her? Did you dust off that Bible at home? Did you open your eyes and hope it never happened? Close your eyes and not go to sleep? Did you notice the sunset the first time in ages? Speak to some stranger on the street? Did you lay down at night and think of tomorrow? Go out and buy you a gun? Did you turn off that violent old movie you're watching and turn on I Love Lucy reruns? Did you go to a church and hold hands with some stranger, stand in line and give your own blood? Did you just stay home and cling tight to your family? Thank God you had somebody to love. I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I could tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. The greatest is love. The greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning that September day?
Wow. That would have been so hard to perform, I think. Like, just, it's so emotional. Every moment of the song, every lyric, everything that was sung there is just so meaningful and so impactful and so personal too. Like, telling the stories of his life. Like, it's hard not to get emotional in a song like this, with meaning like this. Just an event like this that just rocks the world. Like, it's something that's felt by everyone, but especially from Americans. And country music artists are typically very in tune with like the heart of the nation kind of thing of America. Like, they're very American in many ways, like very patriotic and things like that. So when something like this happens, it not only affects them strongly, but it affects their entire audience, their entire country. And it's something that you can't look away from. And for Alan Jackson to write the song a week before this show and come on and perform it for the first time, like, it would have been so raw and so emotional to perform this way. And it's absolutely fantastic how well he did and how he was able to keep it together like this. Like, it would have been very difficult, I'm sure. You can almost see again, like, the glossiness in his eyes and just how difficult it would be to keep it together, to keep your composure while singing a song as emotional and as meaningful as this. It's really impressive. He did an amazing job with this song. And I don't think that this song necessarily pulled me over to the countryside saying like, oh, this is like, I'm a country fan now, but it's still a good song. Like, I can still recognize the level of effort that went into this. And also the music was fantastic, like the melodies and things like that, the violins and the guitar melodies, the background singers, like it was all done fantastically. The drumming was done well. It was all just fantastic, really. And I'm really curious to see what his impression will be from years later, looking back at this moment and how much it meant to him. So let's check that out now. All right, it's time to check out the interview.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day?
I felt like everybody did when all that was going on, the months following, and people rethinking their life and what was important to them. And I think that song kind of shared a lot of those emotions and feelings with the people. A lot of people have told me that anyway. And what surprised me now, that song, I thought, I was nervous about putting it out anyway in the beginning, but I thought we'd perform it for a little while and then it would just go away, because I didn't feel like people would want to keep thinking about that. But now, I mean, even today, I see people waiting on that song in the crowd, and it's still, some places they'll be on their feet for several minutes after you finish the song. I think it's just a theme that's a subject about what's important and that people really find in that song, and so it's gone beyond the tragedy a little bit, and which is surprising to me, but it's very nice to have some music that touches people. I've always been careful about music. To me, I've always looked at it more as entertainment and fun, and try not to get too preachy with it, but occasionally something comes along that's real. I guess it works that way. It touches people. If anything good came out of 9/11 to me, was that I think people were so cynical about the world, and the news just portrays, all you hear is all the bad stuff every day, And what was refreshing to me was after that, you saw how many good people there are out there. Because for every one bad one, there's 1,000 good ones, and you realize that there's a lot of great people out there.
Wow.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that?
Interesting. I mean, he's right. Like, that was a moment that brought the world together in a way, especially the Western world. Like, we had never really seen a tragedy on that scale or in that way in the history of modern society, I don't think. Like, especially an attack like that, like it changed everything, and everyone kind of came together. Like, I heard stories about people in New York that would, like, I don't know, a city that's known for being like very solitary, like all the people really, they kind of look out for themselves, only care for themselves most of the time, like, get out of my way type of thing. But after 9/11, they were all a community. Like, they were all together and they helped each other and looked out for each other. And it was a different feeling after that, from what I've heard anyways. And even for me, as a kid in Canada growing up, like, I still remember the day that it happened, like getting ready for school that morning and then being told, like, looking at the news and seeing what's happening. To be honest, before that happened, I didn't even know what the Twin Towers were. And it still impacted me quite a bit just to know that this had happened, like, again, and going to school that day and watching it on the screen with all of my classmates and things like that, and having the teacher teach us all about exactly what this means and what could happen going forward, and just how much the world had changed that day. It was crazy to experience. I remember it staying with me for weeks after the fact, just not being able to let it go, the impact, the loss, just how much the world had changed. And you're seeing it on the news all the time, and everyone's talking about it because it was such an important event, and things changed so much from that moment on. Even as Canadians, like, we could feel the empathy and the care for our American brothers and sisters and things like that went through this, and the sacrifices that were made, and the people who were lost. Like, it wasn't lost on us either, and we talked about it in school for several days afterwards too. Like, it just how impactful it was. It was a really crazy time in the world, but at the same time, even Like, it felt like the whole world came together after that moment, and a song like this just is a great encapsulation of the feelings and the mood at the time. It was really moving, and Alan Jackson did a great job of recapturing that feeling and sharing it with everyone here, because 24 years later, it's a different world now. I mean, things have changed quite drastically since then, but at the same time, we can still remember just the impact of that moment on everyone's lives and on the world as a whole. And again, the song is a great example of that, a great encapsulation of that. But anyways, thanks for hanging out watching my reaction. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And until next time, later days, folks.